And welcome in, everybody, to In-Game Chat for Saturday, July the 25th, 2026, Season 20, Episode 23. I'm Scott.
And I'm RJ.
And we would like to welcome you to our show. Oh, let's see. Yeah, you know, the whole spiel of go to ingamechat.net for all the links to get in touch with us. You know, emails everybody, or everyone, not everybody, everyone at ingamechat.net. That's RJ and I will both get it. You want to send emails there, Scott at ingamechat.net. I think RJ at ingamechat.net works either way. So you can do it that way. You can also find us on Twitter, on Blue Sky. We are on Facebook, all of that stuff for you. You can email us, like I said. Streaming right now on Twitch. Go to twitch.tv, type in In-Game Chat. You'll be able to find us. Or just go to our website, ingamechat.net. Scroll to the bottom. There'll be links there, not only for Twitch, but also for the Discord there, which we have somebody in our Discord already. We got Steve in there, which we'll jump over to him here pretty soon. As soon as I get done talking about all this stuff. And, of course, with Twitch, you can join us in the chat room live while we broadcast there. So, I haven't really been able to, for the past 2 days, Thursday and Friday, those of you who are listening here locally, or if you just, you know, keep us on wherever you are all the time, you haven't heard me on the morning show for the past 2 days. Thursday I was not here, not even in the building, until sometime after 9. And then Friday I was here, but I could not come into the studio and be on the air due to the fact that I was suffering from some massive pain that I had never felt before. This is my first time really getting to talk about it because I have not been able to get on the air. When it happened on Thursday, I woke up with the pain on Thursday, went to the ER and you know, got diagnosed with whatever it was, and I'll tell you about that in a minute. And then Friday had an attack while I was here, and I could not come in. I was suffering so much pain. Turns out I have kidney stone. First time in my life I've ever had a kidney stone before. I've not known anybody really that's had a kidney stone. Apparently I do. I just have forgotten because somebody reminded me that a coworker of ours suffered them, but I don't ever remember talking to him about them or anything like that. So, yeah. This, I don't know, for those of you who are listening and for those of you in Twitch, on Discord, and we'll check with Steve. I don't know if anybody, RJ, you've never had a kidney stone.
No, but I've heard stories about it from others that I've talked to, and there was never anything pleasant.
It is
nothing smooth about it at all.
Insanely painful.
Yeah,
it is insanely painful. The
type of pain you wouldn't wish on anybody.
Yeah,
no matter how you feel about them.
And the pain is right. It's in my lower left side of my back is where it hits, and it is just the most uncomfortable feeling. It starts feeling like you slept wrong, like there's just pain there. Mm-hmm. But the way it fluctuates, the way it intensifies and then reduces and then comes back and that sort of thing, quickly tells you that no, this is, and that's the other part of it. Like if you've got back pain, put a heating pad on it, put a massager on it, find a position, right? You're looking for a position to where the pain doesn't affect you. There is nowhere to run from this pain. There's no position that puts you in a better position. It's a kidney, it's a stone in your kidney and it's moving around and it's got to find a place to settle. And there is no position you can put yourself in to alleviate that pain outside of dead. or I may be completely numbed up somehow. I don't even know. But because it's internal, it is absolutely painful. Now, Brian in the chat room says, I was lucky with mine, passed no problem. 3 of them, but they were very small. Steve says, did they blast it with sonar? They didn't do anything with it other than give me a CT scan and then charge me an exorbitant amount of money to have a visit with the ER and do a CT scan. Haven't gotten that bill yet, but they immediately when they said, okay, that'll be this, and I was like, nope, I'm sorry. Point me in the direction of where I have to wash dishes because I can't pay that amount right here. So no, they didn't blast it with sonar. Apparently have a 2mm stone, according to them, a 2mm stone. You telling me that 2mm causes that much pain? And I mean, it does. It absolutely does. But that's very tiny and very painful. Very painful. It is not passed yet that I know of. At least according to most of the signs that I should be looking for that it has not happened yet. I don't know if it's still in the kid. Today has been phenomenal. Thursday morning, I woke up and maybe, 10, 15 minutes later after I woke up is when I felt the pain. And it lasted from 3:30 in the morning until I got to the ER at about 5:45 or so. When they took me back into the ER and took me to a room, it was probably around 5:45. So I don't know, 2.5, something like that, hours of the pain. And then it went away. Completely gone for the rest of the day, never felt it again. Until I woke up the next morning. Friday morning, same time I got up at 3:15, and the pain started at about 4. Somewhere around 4 a.m. I took... they had given me some pain meds when I had gone to the ER. They gave me some pain meds that I picked up on Thursday. I took the pain med somehow, and I don't know really what happened, but somehow I was okay at about 4:30 or so to drive into work. No problem. I get to work. Everything's fine. At about 5:30, 5:45, I'm actually sitting out in the chair in the lobby, playing on my phone, and it hits. The pain, and this is no slow build. It is striking pain immediately because I can start to feel it, and suddenly I'm just, ow, because it just gets more intense, and absolutely got me nauseous. I didn't think pain could make me nauseous like that, but it absolutely made me nauseous.
Yeah, it can.
So they gave me some nausea medicine, what they took, and then I took another pain pill. That one lasted all the way until 9:00. The attack, intensity varying in intensity. Mm-hmm. And the only way, and this is me explaining it, I'm sorry we're not talking about games, we will get to those. The only way that I can seem to handle this is by pacing. Like when it was happening at the house, I was just walking around the house. I could not, laying on the bed did nothing. Laying on the bed, I just squirmed and moved because there was so much pain. So pacing is what worked. And so even here, it is heavy breathing from just the amount of pain and pacing up and down the hall to get it to move or to get whatever the case may be. Now, I've gotten some home remedies to do and some other stuff, but today has been no attack. Doing research on it, it was like, why is it attacking me in the morning? What's going on? I thought it's probably because maybe everything's settled when you're sleeping, and then when you get up, things move around, they shift, and maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's why it's happening. I remember thinking I was getting an attack yesterday because I'd been sitting in my computer chair for so long, and I got up, and I felt like an attack was coming on, but it absolutely did not happen. And then today I expected to have one this morning, but nothing. Nothing today. So Brian says it's likely dislodged itself and is either out or on its way out. I really hope so. Now, if it is out, that's great, but I didn't have all the things that they told me to look for when it removes itself from you. Mm-hmm. There are certain signs of that, and there have been none of those signs so far with me and that. Now, if it is on its way out, then that's fantastic too. I will take whatever pain has to come for this thing to leave my body than to go through the pain that it gives me in my back like that. That was, I don't know where I've ever felt pain like that before. It was insane, unreal pain. So I mean, you know, the neck surgery that I had, there was absolutely pain with that too when I did that last year. When they did the surgery on my neck, that was some pain as well. But that, like, I could put a brace on. I could take the medicine worked. You know, the heavy medicine worked. This medicine doesn't. The medicine doesn't stop it from doing what it's doing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you know, you have an affliction of some sort. You take the medicine and it stops the affliction of whatever, or it increases your pain tolerance until, you know, whatever it's gone. But this doesn't help the stone move. It just numbs you to the pain. If the stone is not settled by the time that medicine has run its course, the pain is still there.
Yeah.
It doesn't make it go away. And I really wish it would. But yeah, so that is what I've been dealing with for the past 2 days. And the sort of, and Brian, you've experienced these, so, you know, feel free to throw in advice in the chat room when I'm talking about it. But just the anticipation of not knowing, like, it could strike at any moment. It could hit you at any moment. It could hit me while we're doing the show today. Mm-hmm. It legit could. And so I will say that to do this is that if I do have an attack while we're doing the show, I mean, obviously I will tell you because I will start being, you will know. But we are going to throw in a replay and the show is over as soon as that attack hits because there's no way I can work through that. There is absolutely no way I can work through that kind of pain. I have been told a couple of times now that this is the closest a man can ever get to experiencing what being pregnant is like. And what that feels like.
I've heard that before. When I was talking about kidney stones before, they were...
I'm not even talking about the part of giving birth. I'm just talking about, like, contractions and those, you know, whatever those type of things
contractions.
Are. Yeah. Whew. Ha. Man. So, yeah. Brian says I had back pains about 8 years ago, and then it was about a month after that when I passed mine. A month? Whew. 2 at one time, and then another the next day. So, honestly, I was hoping this thing would go away this weekend. You know, I was hoping that at some point I would have, you know, kind of like you go through a cold or, you know, some kind of.
You think it's going to blow over a weekend or something like that.
Right. Yeah, you know, a couple of days go by, you're sick, you get through it, and then it leaves your system, you know?
Yeah.
I feel the same way about the stone. It's in there, it's going to pass its way through, and then a couple of days it come out of you, that sort of thing. But apparently this is not the case. Mm-mm. This thing just does what it needs to do when it wants to do it, depending on when. So yeah. If the back pain is done with, I feel like I can get through anything else it tries to throw at me. If that back pain is over with. If it's not, I don't know. We'll just have to see. You know, it could hit here, it could hit later on tonight, this evening, could hit in the morning. Maybe it takes the weekend off and doesn't hit me until I go back to work on Monday. I don't know. But I want it gone. Enough about that, though. Let's talk about what we have played. RJ, I defer to you.
Well, mostly it's been the show. MLB The Show. I've been working on my team building and things of that nature for another franchise season. So I've been doing that most of this week. I also played a little bit more of Virtua Fighter 5. Tried to get some more games and matches in because I haven't been able to do league play this week. Unfortunately, I was running into an issue with bots, farming bots again. All the matches that I had online that were ranked, it was always some AI run farming thing that someone put in there, so it wasn't any actual authentic opponents that I was going against, and that gets kind of frustrating because it's the same thing over. It's either one of two things: either the bot does the same thing over and over again, or it's like reading your buttons and you can't do anything. The moment you even press a button on your controller, the AI is already reacting and finding the best way to counter that. So, of course, that gets a little frustrating after a while. So after about a few matches of that, I just logged out, came back, tried again, still bots. And so I just went on and tried some other things with MLB The Show. Now, I did want to pick up what we talked about last week, Dench Attack, because it came out that week that we were talking about. I wanted to pick it up.
You didn't?
I wanted to, but I didn't get to. I tried to do it before work one morning, just start the download, but the network was down, so couldn't.
What morning might that have been?
I was it was Friday.
Yep.
I tried to do that.
Sure was, because the PlayStation Store went down. I say the PlayStation Store, the whole PlayStation Network went down. This was the same day that Marvel, and please pronounce it for me, Tokon?
Tokon.
Yeah. Marvel.
I'll call it Tokon. I don't know the official announcement, but it looks like it.
Yeah.
Tokon.
Anyway, that game released, and apparently, I don't know if that was the reason the servers did what they did, but PlayStation Network's completely down on Friday. Massive downage. And of course, the first thing that is brought up is like, this is our all digital future where we can't play anything because your network's down, because it has to phone home to make sure that the game is yours every time you play it. And it can't do that with the networks down. So, yeah. Nor can you, download the game that you want to buy.
Yeah.
So. There's even worse stuff about that coming up later on, but yeah. So bad day for you to decide to want to get that game.
I just picked the wrong day. I'll just have to go do it later. I do have to go to work, so go to work, come back. Maybe hopefully something will change by the time I get around to it. But yeah, I still intend to buy Dench Attack and see how that goes. But for the most part, it was just those two. All for the whole week. I mean, I didn't even get to do much of Grand Theft Auto Online because of the grinding nerf of everything. So it's like the motivation to do it is like, not now, just maybe later when I feel better about it.
I get it.
So yeah, that's pretty much all I've been playing this week.
Yeah, for me, it's just been Marvel Snap. They released a new card on Tuesday that has been really, really fun to work with and to kind of use in decks and stuff. I've been having a great time with the new card, so that's been good. They had a limited time game event that started on Tuesday as well, I think Tuesday or Wednesday. And I've been working on that. I finally finished the grind for that progression today. Finish that up again using a deck with the new card, by the way, which is a really, really good card. If you play Marvel Snap at all, then you likely are aware of the Scorpion Brand New Day. They've got a whole theme of Brand New Day stuff because of Spider-Man movie next Friday, or this coming Friday, I guess you could say. And so all the cards are themed around that film. And so there's two Scorpions in the game. There's just regular Scorpion, then there's Scorpion Brand New Day. A lot like what they did with Fantastic Four. We already had the Fantastic Four in the deck, but then the movie came out. And so they had to come up with alternate cards to support the film. And so, yes, there are two Mr. Fantastics, two Invisible Womans, two Human Torches, two things,
Different abilities?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
different abilities. Two Spider-Men. Two like I said, two Scorpions now. And so if you are on the fence, and it is unlikely that you should be on the fence of this new card that's out, Scorpion Brand New Day, spend the money, get the card, whatever the case. And by money, I mean the in-game currency, the tokens and stuff that you use to get the cards and stuff. It's worth the tokens to get that card. So, that is what I've been playing mostly when I can stand to sit down and play, which has been fun. It really, the fact that it's hit me in the morning both times before work, it's really only been a hassle to try and get work stuff completed because I can't stand still or sit still or whatever when the pain's going on. So, but anyway, that's really all I played. Not a whole lot of that at all. So, yeah. Oh yeah, Steve. He's there. Hey, Steve, I think I've got you lined up. Are you in the? There you are.
Hey now.
Hey,
yeah. Hey.
What have you been playing other than it says you're playing Iron Lung right now?
Right now? No, I was playing that earlier, but
Oh, it says 1 day ago he was playing Iron Lung.
Yeah, yesterday I finished. So I actually watched that movie.
I haven't. I have not watched it yet. I've watched it, but
Dude,
I haven't watched it.
It was really good, and it's kind of funny because like I think the movie's actually way longer than what it takes to actually beat a
play the game.
Yeah, but neat concepts. Simple controls. It should be played by anybody who likes a Dave Zemansky game, or if you like just kind of horror. In a confined space. But
what other games has he done? You said David. What's the name?
Dave Zemansky, yeah, he's done a bunch of stuff that I love. He did Dusk, which is the game that kind of ruined Doom for me because it's built in like a classical Doom, like 90s style first person shooter era, and it's super fast paced. So like you're killing enemies and stuff, and you're running around the map, and it's faster than modern Doom. So you play like the modern Doom games, and they try and kind of replicate the chaos of just a shooter. And like once you play Dusk and then go to any of those Doom games, it's like Doom is too slow. Doom is boring. Dusk is where it's at. So Dusk is a must play. That's probably one of them. I would say that's probably one of my top 10 games that I played like this century, 21st century. Going back to the style and everything. So highly recommend that.
Yeah, I'm looking at his entire library here, and I don't see a single game that I own.
Chop Goblins is another one that's pretty fun. Squirrel Stapler. Those are the funny, like, hey, I'm gonna make a game about just these goblins with like cooking knives, and then you have to make them out. But these games are weird. They're simple. They're light. They're very light on the graphics. And
A Wolf in Autumn. A one-armed young girl finds herself locked in a shed in the middle of an idyllic autumn forest, with threats both physical and immaterial drawing close. Finger Bones. Explore a mysterious abandoned bunker and find notes that paint a disturbing picture. That's the only description.
I have both those games. I haven't played them yet, but those are on my list.
The Moon Silver. You are on a bleak, cold, windy island, and you seem to be alone, but fires and candles still burn. As you explore, a story of guilt, loneliness, and faith begins to take shape, and it becomes obvious that something is hunting you. Nice. He likes his horror, and his weird horror too.
Very weird. Very weird. But yeah, no, I mean, so Iron Lung also very good. Watch the movie, play the game. It won't take you long. But I've been doing a lot of stuff on the deck too, just because it's vacation mode and like the summer, so I really haven't sat down on my computer and played almost anything. It's all been deck games. So, like I've been playing Let Them Come, the Terminator 2, No Fate game, Deep Rock Galactic Survivor. And then a bunch of cat games.
There's a game called Cat Isle.
There's a million cat games.
I know. Cat Isle just released not too long ago, or a couple of days ago, actually, and it said it was what is the name? Animal Crossing clone type thing. It's only like $5. Introductory price is $5, but I don't know anything about it. But if you're an Animal Crossing clone, you kind of got my attention because I haven't played Animal Crossing in forever. Which I feel like if you're a clone of that game, the same thing's going to happen to you that happened to my game in Animal Crossing. Is I'm going to play it a very long while, probably, and then abandonment. Just
the cat games that I play are mostly just like, where's the cat in this photo? Like ever see a cat? A castle full of cats.
Yep. Okay, I know what you're talking about.
100 Korea cats. Like there's all kinds of those. Just here's a picture and find all the cats, and I play with my kids, so it's kind of fun to do.
Well, that's good. That's good. Anything else?
No, that's really it. I mean, I really kind of just wanted to chat about the the whole the discless PlayStation future, the discless Xbox future.
We can absolutely go over that. We're going to take a break, though, and then come back. So, I mean, how long you got with us?
I got another segment. No
okay.
worries.
All right. We'll take a break, and then we'll come back, and we'll talk about that and what you think about it. That is coming up here on In-Game Chat as we go to a break here. We got music from I think we're in November now of last year for the music that we're pulling from games at that point. So this is from Winter Burrow, the game Winter Burrow. It is called Thinking Out Loud, and we will be back, and hopefully my nose will be cleared up. We'll be back with more of In-Game Chat right after this. And welcome back into In-Game Chat. Music here from a game called Rue Valley. Name of the track is called Guitar Bass. So welcome back in. We got Steve, who's hanging out in Discord there. Wanted to talk about the PlayStation discless future there. Where did you want to start with this? Because, obviously we can start at the beginning of when they announced it, and then we can move on to the recent report that we had this week of how many physical, how well physical discs sold on the PlayStation platform recently.
It's kind of all tied together because I saw Xbox was testing a free cloud gaming service with ads too.
Right.
And so I think these companies are preparing for, at least a service for people when they realize just how expensive this hardware is going to be when it launches.
Yeah.
But so it's all tied together, right? Like the getting rid of the disc, getting people used to not having discs to buy games, which I kind of been doing already with Steam, for almost.
A lot of us have been doing that already for PC gaming.
Yeah.
I mean, that is, the first thing that they took out of the video game stores was the PC section.
Right.
Yeah.
That was the section that used to enjoy an entire side of a wall, of nothing but these gigantic boxes full of they're for your PC. If you want the other games, you got to go over here to this little section over here for your console stuff. And then that PC stuff shrank very fast to where, you got a random kiosk in the store somewhere, and that was your PC selection.
Yeah.
If you wanted it, while the wall was now filled up with console games on, one side this console, the other side this console, the other side this console. So Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, take your pick. PC, oh yeah, that little thing in the middle there, that little bin, there's PC games.
No, it was just a pillar.
Yeah,
a four-sided pillar.
Yeah, that's it.
Had each side stacked. That was all it was.
Because they all referred it to digital. So PC gamers have been down this, and this is the only path that they can go down. Is that digital path? Whereas I know that Good Old Games has a feature where you can download their games, put them on a disc, and keep them physical like that. And Good Old Games has a massive library, but they're very, it's not necessarily, 007 First Light is not in that library because of all their DRM stuff.
If you wanted to, you could download every game off Steam and put it on your own personal little mini Steam server and get it whenever you wanted to, right? Like, that would be the move if Steam shut down next month that would be what you would do. You would download every single thing onto, the hard drives, and you'd have it, indefinitely.
Yeah.
So that would be what you do.
That is your option. Yeah.
Yeah, that is your option to do. It is kind of a weird. I honestly don't know what's going to happen with the next releases. It's probably too early even to talk about PS6 and whatever Xbox is doing.
Because we don't know when they're going to get released, and we also don't have a price for. I mean, we have an idea of a price, but we don't know exactly what that price will be.
I'm still calling 4 figures, 15.
Oh no, it's absolutely going to be 4
absolutely
figures.
Will be.
Yeah.
I mean, look at what the Steam Machine is. I mean, that thing wasn't supposed to cost as much as it did, and it launched at 4 figures.
Glad you got your graphics card when you did, sir.
No kidding. What is that going for now?
I don't know.
What is that? What is a 5080 going for right now?
5080? I thought you got a 5090.
Oh, I did get a 59. I can't remember what card I got. It's a 5090.
Somebody who spends that amount of money ought to remember what they got. Looking at $2,000 if you buy it off the site.
I'm looking just on the top.
See, goodness.
Yeah,
Options that come up at Google, and it's like 3,900, 4,100, 4,300.
Yeah.
I mean,
Typically
the entire
33.
PC.
Yeah, 33 to
Says,
64.
Yeah, but actual market and retail prices range from about $3,800 to over $5,000 due to high demand and limited stock.
Yeah. Wait, what is this?
Wild.
The Nvidia site says it's right there. Oh, it says see all buying options. Never mind. Sure. Yeah. Let me see all my buying options that you got for me. Access denied. Yeah, they know I'm poor. Don't even bother. You got medical bills to pay. Don't even bother trying to buy this card.
Priorities.
Yeah, right. Like we know you can't afford it. Yeah. So,
but going back to like the consoles and stuff, I wonder just how flexible they're going to be with the digital games. Like, because I think that would be like the sweet spot for the console makers to be in. They would like to be able to come out with basic hardware like the Steam Deck or something, and being able to download any game that's in your library onto that thing. And if they go with a cloud service option too, that would just circumvent people having to drop the money on the hardware and just play it through the cloud service. That's an option. So you don't even have to, yes, it's another subscription, but I mean, maybe that's something you could cancel and re-up if there's a game you want. Like maybe in the long run, I don't know. I mean, I guess I don't know how much those options would be either, but it seems like that they're prepping people for, if you don't want to spend $1,000 on the console, you can do this, and that's what I see kind of coming down the road.
Yeah, but how can you do that if it is an exclusive title? Can you do that without actually owning a console? If it's a game that's like, hey, this is only on PlayStation 6, or this is only available on the new generation, like whatever the Project Helix ends up naming, it's like you can only play this on the Helix or the 6, But
there never was really a market to actually make money on the hardware, right? Like that was always
it was always a loss that they would take from that.
So who cares where you're playing the game? Like as long as you're subscribing to that game at the time of release somewhere, that's what they care about.
Right, but I'm saying if they make a game that is only available on that system, then you are forced to either not play it or buy that system.
Yeah, I guess that also goes back to their new strategy of not releasing things on PC and focusing on.
Yeah, no, that totally was. I mean, that was.
Yeah.
I feel like all of this is kind of their it was kind of in their playbook of, all right, the first thing we're going to do is announce that we're stopping these single player experiences on PC. We're going to make those exclusive to our machines from now on. I say our machines, but to our console from now on. PlayStation Studio games that are single player experiences will not get a PC release. Multiplayer, maybe sure. I think there's whatever, but we know the single player we're gonna rein it in because we're tired for whatever reason. The reason I think being is that people can go out and the people who have a PC can go ahead and buy these things, and we're not making any money from people who don't own the console but want to play our games. So now and see that's the other strategy is like, all right, that's fine, but you need a library worth of those types of us to go out and buy the system for.
It's the situation I've always been in. I'm not buying a console until you've got a library built up enough for me to merit me wanting to get the thing. So this whole thing about going a disc without discs or anything like that is just Steam. You're competing with Steam, and if you're going that route, you're no better than Steam. And Steam's been doing it for a heck of a long time, and a lot better than you will when you jump into this market going that route. So, I mean, in my case, to play online, I've got to buy a subscription to PlayStation Plus, and I think the next year I got is going to be my last one, because if you're going to go no disc, I may as well drop the account and just stick with what I got and go to Steam and see what's there, because all the multiplayer stuff that I got is on Steam.
Yeah.
So I don't have to worry about paying another. I think it's going to be 80 something bucks a year to play online with folks, which I can do on Steam for no cost.
And then going discless. So the first strategy was that make sure they only play it on our ecosystem. They only do it from there. Then in a couple of years, we're also going to take the disc part out of it, because we're losing money on the resale market. We're not.
Yeah, but they never cared about that.
I don't think. Well, I mean, apparently. So then, why the shift to digital then?
It's got to be costs. It's got to just be like the added cost of producing the discs and the drives that you put in the hardware.
I guess maybe that's gone up. I don't know. Disc production has gone up. Yeah, I don't know if disc production has gone up like that, but I don't know.
But it is odd to me, because Sony owns the license to Blu-ray,
exactly,
which has been the format. So they're basically saying we're not going to put our own format on our own hardware anymore. That's weird, because I don't see that going away for movies anytime soon. You're still going to be seeing, maybe they're not being carried in stores.
Give it time.
You can still buy them, and I know. I mean, the UHD is a market. Right, that's definitely a market that people want. They want their Ultra HD movies for their OLED screens and their home movies, their home movie setups.
Yeah, just give it time, because I think that'll be the next step. I don't know how far down the road it'll be, but I think that'll be the next step, is where they quit producing Blu-ray discs and it's only digital. Which again, because then you throw in that other story where they lost the license to Screen Gems or some other studio.
500 plus films they lost, something like that.
And it's like, nope, these are not yours anymore. You bought them, you paid for them, but you are no longer allowed to watch them.
That was really bad timing, right? With the
massive bad timing.
Like that, I don't know if that was a plan. Like, I know they knew the date was of the expiring license or whatever, but the fact that they're actually going out and removing those from systems, which I guess happens at the end of the year. I don't think it's happened yet, but I think that it's coming up. That combined with the digital-only future, that's what scares people about not having discs, not being able to collect your discs, put away your PlayStation and take it out in a couple of years and plug it back in and make sure that your game.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. We talked about this a couple of days ago. Well, I say a couple of days ago, whatever, how many episodes ago.
Yeah.
We talked about the fact that even discs that you buy now don't have the game on them.
Yeah, that's the other curious thing. Like, what's up with I don't know. Is that every disc now? Because I don't know. I still don't have a PlayStation 5, so I have no idea how it actually works.
I would say that most of those that you buy are that way, where the game is not on the disc, but there is a code there on the disc that downloads it from the store whenever you put it in your system. Then it uses that disc to verify the fact that you own that game. Some of those do. Some of them don't.
That's just maybe that's just an education thing for because I mean, I'm seeing people irate about this everywhere. And do they not know that that's what's happening when they go and buy a disc on PlayStation right now? That they're not actually that the game isn't on the disc and they're downloading it.
Well, like I said, it's not all of them. I think I don't know. I can't tell you which ones are and which ones aren't. I think most are. But if you buy something like from what is that company, Limited Run Games, I'm almost positive that the content is on whatever you get from them, be it a cartridge or a disc. Whatever the case may be, I think the content is actually on there for what they do. But that's such a special, that's a niche, market type thing.
Collectability thing. Yeah, I get that.
Collectability, I get. Like, people want to see that in their shelves, it's and display it and get your collector's editions and all that stuff. I get that. There'll still be stuff to collect. The thing, too, that I don't think is realized yet, and I was going to ask you guys what both of your situations were, but do your ISPs have a data cap? Or is it unlimited?
Mine does not. Mine does not have a data cap. I think you're okay, too, there, RJ, right? Yeah. No, we don't run it. I know people who do have data caps, or I've read, plenty of people on forums and things who do live in areas that do have data caps. I remember we went into, we went over this years and years and years ago. There was that dude from Microsoft who actually lost his job because he made a statement on Twitter.
Yeah, it was something like, basically like that Marie Antoinette thing, let them eat cake or something like that.
I can't remember what he said.
He said something that really upset.
Right,
about that.
it did, because people were like, you obviously don't live in a world where you have a data cap on your stuff, or where you're not getting internet like you're getting it, where it's going to take us forever to download this thing and eat into whatever our caps are, whatever our speed is, or something like that, just to download this one game. Can't remember his name, like is Aaron, I think, or something. I can't remember what his name was, but anyway, that was way back when, and sadly enough, it still applies today for some folks who live in areas where your data gets capped depending on the usage that you make or that you have, or you get charged more because you've gone over limit.
Yeah, or I think it's also location. I don't know if some states actually have laws where they say that it can't limit data from ISP. I know here in Massachusetts we don't have data caps, or at least I haven't seen a data cap on either Comcast or Verizon since like 2013 or 12 or something.
Yeah, the last data cap I had was on my phone.
Yeah,
I remember,
that too.
Yep.
But those are the only two situations I can remember actually seeing a data cap.
It was okay. Thank you. Lethal Migraine said it was Adam Orth. That was his name. And he said, sorry, I don't get the drama around having an always-on console. Every device now is always on. That's the world we live in. #, deal with it.
Does he not remember like the always-on fiasco?
Well, that was no. That was the quote that he said that got him.
Oh,
that got him fired or reprimanded. That was not Lethal Migraine. He was throwing the quote in there of what the guy said. I remember that. I remember that being apparently a big deal because the console was always on. Because at that time we were having that argument about I don't need my console connected to the internet the entire time, but it always is.
TV? That was the TV Xbox, right? The one that TV did everything.
Yeah, I think it is. I think it was. I think it was.
That makes sense. You have to have it always on if you want a voice-controlled console.
I mean, it's always on because it's always checking to make sure that what you've got is legally owned by you. If you've got the disc in there and it reads the code and says, all right, sends that to home base checks it with its license and says, yeah, this is verified, play your game. Same thing with any digital copy now. You download it. As soon as you open up a game on Steam, it verifies with either Steam or whatever server you're signing into, even though you may not think you're signing into a server, you are, and it says, yes, this is valid, play your game,
And by the way, the amount of time, and I know the outages on PlayStation Network are way more common, but the amount of time I haven't been able to play a Steam game because the Steam servers aren't up, maybe happened like a decade ago for
it's
me.
Absolutely minimal. Yeah, I get you.
Can't even remember like being affected by anything. If maybe like chat was down and I couldn't talk to somebody.
You know what? I noticed it. I noticed it more back when I was heavy playing my Destiny.
Really?
Yeah, because I would play that game so much. So I actually access Steam a lot more than what I do now. Compared to what I did when I was grinding out Destiny all the time. And there would be times I would come home from work or whatever the case may be, some random time that I'm like, hey, I want to play. And my Steam, I would try to fire it up and I'd get some kind of error and then I would check Steam and it says no connection. because and I'd pop onto Discord with the guys and I was like, can anybody get in right now? And they'd let me know that no, I can't, I'm not logged in, I can't see anything, that sort of thing, Steam being down. I noticed it a lot more back then than I have ever seen it now. In fact, since being banned from Destiny, I haven't seen it at all.
Did that ruin a Destiny night for you, or did it come back 5 minutes later?
I would go. It depends. Sometimes it would take a while, and sometimes I would just read the internet or go to Reddit or something and read of everybody else saying I can't get in right now because Steam's having whatever issue, and then it would come back up, and then I would play. Did it ever stop? I mean, yeah, maybe a couple of times, but it was just one of those things.
Then.
Yeah,
it's something that happens, and
it does.
Not
often, but it happens. So, but yeah, that's the future we're going to, is a completely discless future. Like we said, we're not necessarily new to that. It's not a different world for us in that regard, because we've been doing this for a while with the situation with that. And so I wanted to get to that Sony's decision, because I had an article here. Secondhand markets, blah, blah, blah. The secondhand video game market stands in jeopardy in the wake of Sony's decision to end the manufacturing of PlayStation discs by January 2028. The market, which analysts estimate is worth $7.2 billion globally, could be destroyed. That's according to an analysis, blah, blah, blah.
All right, so GameStop's going away.
Right, yeah.
That's the only thing that tells me is, people still buy stuff on eBay and other areas. It's just GameStop is the one that capitalizes it because their prices are generally, not great with new titles. You go and trade in a new game, they'll give you nothing for it, and then maybe take $10 off the listing price, and people buy it.
Yeah, it's like pawn shop prices at that point.
Yeah, if anything, it should, the secondhand market should get better for gamers, because I don't think people would. I think they would. They wouldn't be upcharging that much. They wouldn't be saving $5 on a title if somebody wanted to sell it.
Yeah, The other article that I was looking at was the more players opt for the convenience of digital downloads, but seeing real numbers can put that decline in stark contrast. A new data point shared by the Circana Retail Tracking Service shows just how marginalized physical game sales have become in the U.S. and what kind of challenge fans who are urging Sony to preserve PlayStation discs are up against. Here's the quote. 2 PlayStation video games sold more than 10,000 physical units in the United States during the week ending July 11th of this year. 7 have sold more than 100,000 physical units year to date. That's a low number. 100... Seven games since the is that since this year, I guess is what he's saying. Yeah, year to date they've only had 7 that have sold more than 100,000 copies, which goes, I guess, to your point, to the manufacturing of discs, where
this is like people yelling at clouds, right? They hear something's going away and they don't realize that they were the ones making it go away the entire time, because they opt to get it digitally, for convenience on release rather than go to the store or buy it on Amazon. That's really what I would expect those numbers to be like that. Now, I wouldn't expect GTA to look like that, but I don't know what major games were released this year. What are we talking about? That's the other thing too that I'd be curious about. What 7 games are we talking about that only sold 100K? Mm-hmm. Are these AAA games? Are they something else? I don't know. I'd be curious to dig into that data if it's available.
Yeah, he says what this thought experiment drives home pretty quickly is that even the top-selling games of the year probably haven't sold much more than 100,000 PlayStation disc units. It seems very unlikely that any of these games broke 300,000 PlayStation disc sales, let alone 500,000. Even if those numbers double by the end of the year, it seems unlikely that any of those games crack 1 million physical sales in the U.S. alone. In a way, this also reinforces the larger point about physical games that analysts have been making for years. Even as most consumers opt for digital downloads, the total sale of physical games each year still isn't nothing. According to the Director of Research and Insights at Nico Partners, Sony sold roughly 70 million physical PlayStation games in 2025. That is still a lot of revenue each year, but it's also an extremely small number for any particular new game in any particular territory. A further wrinkle is that first-party releases tend to have a higher ratio of physical sales as hardcore fans opt for a permanent copy they can add to their collection. The math is not in the pro-disc crowd's corner, even if sentiment, nostalgia, and the broader vibes around gaming culture are. The argument is that it will still take more than tens of thousands of angry comments on PlayStation's YouTube channel to get the platform holder to change course. It will take a real boycott movement and the mass cancellation of PS Plus subscriptions, RJ included. In the meantime, a petition demanding Sony reverse course appears to have run out of gas at less than 400,000 signatures. And a petition's not going to change anything. But
this is wild. I found the article you're referring to.
Oh yeah,
and there's a graph, and it shows like the the billions of dollars over since 2007. So basically since Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3, and this year is the first year since 2009 where there was a growth in physical sale copies.
Yeah.
And I think that's because of the news. Like I think that's what's like driving people to like go out. But like every single year since 2009 has declined in new physical game software.
Yeah, it's amazing to see because it's 2009 is the peak, and then it just starts to go downhill.
Yeah,
lower. Just massive. 2020 is pretty amazing to see that even with COVID, it was still pretty tight up there, and then it just keeps going lower.
And what happened in 2009? Do you remember?
What happened in 2009? What got released? Did something get released?
What came online in 2009? And for the PlayStation 3.
Was it?
It was trophies in PlayStation Store.
Oh, gee, dude,
remember,
you're the only one that's going to know that.
Well, I'm just saying, like that was a huge thing that launched, and I'll have to check that. But I mean, I remember the PlayStation 3 launched, and it didn't have any of that on day one, and it took a while for that. And once it came out, it was like people were like, "Oh, I don't have to go to Best Buy. I can just get it here.
You can just buy it there." Yeah,
they had like the classic games. They started from out of the gate with the PlayStation Store being able to get whatever you wanted.
Yeah, I know Microsoft didn't have anything like that until the Xbox Live Arcade. I think was a digital storefront they had on the console where you could buy those smaller digital games, little indie things that they had available. You could buy those and download them. You could not yet go to the store and like buy, whatever Project Gotham Racing. I think going way back to what that was, and some of the.
I just fact checked myself, and I guess it launched in 2006, which would have been the PS3 launch year. But my memory has it as it launched later than that.
I'm curious as to what happened in 2009, though.
Well, I think it was just adoption. Remember, the PS3 didn't sell at launch.
Because it was too expensive. Of course,
it was very expensive.
Yeah, back then, 600 was 600. It was 600 bucks.
600.
Yeah, back then, $600 for a console was like really up there for the price. By the time you get to today, 600. Looking at a console that cost you $600 today would be like, all right, that's better than the PS5 Pro or whatever. $600. We can do that, but we're just not going to see a world where that exists.
Yeah. You know what I realized, too? I don't know if this is just common knowledge and I just got around to seeing it. The PlayStation Pro doesn't come with an optical drive.
It does not.
You have to buy it separately.
Yeah. And
I didn't know that.
And I think there's a wait list for that right now for the separate drive. Yeah. No, the PS5 Pro is absolutely digital, completely all the way. Because that reduced cost. If they had added a drive into it, the price would have gone up. So they said, "No, we'll make it diskless. If they want one, we'll just sell those separately," which is what they did. We're over the top of the hour here. We got to take a break. Or you want to stay through? You got to go.
I wish I could. I gotta do kid stuff, but
go do kid stuff. Kid stuff's fun stuff, man. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, it's good. It's good. It's all good.
All right, man.
But I hope you feel better. I hope it doesn't drag you down.
God, I hope it goes away too. I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
See you, RJ.
Take care now.
Yep, take care.
Have a
Bye-bye.
good one.
You guys will be back with more of In-Game Chat here in just a moment. Music here from... Oh, yeah, by the way, we got 2 tracks from this next game because this next game is absolutely focused on music the entire time. I don't know if you ever played Luminous or Luminous.
Heard of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was on the old PS... Was it PSP? Yeah, it was on the old PSP, the PlayStation Portable. And I think they made one for the Vita as well, maybe. Anyway, a brand new one is out on Steam and has been for a while, well, since November at least. And this is called Bloom Pulse. We'll be back with more of In-Game Chat right after this. Welcome back to In-Game Chat. This is music from a game called Possessors. Berserk Executive, I guess is what this is called, the track for this one. I don't know. Came out in November. It had music, so that's what I use it. All right. Looking over the news here, going over what we can. I don't know what we have. This was a story that happened when we were doing the show last week, and I never got around to talking about it. But the folks that did Disco Elysium, that their latest game has not enabled us to sustain a studio of our current size, so they let go of 32 employees across all departments for that one. So another one of those, there's people losing their jobs again, as that seems to always be the case with game studios lately. Valve engineer says that the RAM situation is likely to continue. Research from early July predicted that the trend of rising memory and GPU prices will likely continue to worsen until at least 2027 and won't stabilize until 2028. More recently, we were talking about it affecting Valve. Honestly, it's still getting worse. Just in case people are not aware, what people are seeing on retail shelves right now from our observations is lagging from what we're seeing from a bulk supply by at least 3 to 6 months. In other words, 3 to 6 months from now, you are going to see it get worse. Because the stock will sell through. They will have to replenish stock. The prices will then go up. That stock will sell through. They'll have to replenish prices. Replenish stock. The prices will go up. Again, I mean, maybe.
Supply and demand, man.
Yeah, maybe I should just, the tagline is for the show from here on out is, the best time to buy a new machine or whatever, the best time to buy,
best time to buy or upgrade is...
Yeah, the best time to buy was yesterday. The second best time is right now. So, exactly. The best time to do it was yesterday. The second best time to do it is today. Because those prices will continue to rise. For your consoles, for your memory, that sort of thing, the prices are going to continue to go up. And this isn't just your video game related situation. It's going to be your cell phones. It's going to be pretty much everything that's going to happen. And that's going to go that way. Hey, in the good news category, even though it's just good news because I haven't heard of anything Ghost Recon in a while, Ubisoft says that we're going to get some Ghost Recon news next month. This article, by the way, from PC Gamer, I didn't even know it put it in here, but it says, Ubisoft promises Ghost Recon news in August. And if you're hoping that means an update on the Splinter Cell remake, then I admire your optimism. But sorry, no. Weird. Yeah, I know. That goes along with my whole thing about, like, how long has it been since we had a Splinter Cell game?
Another Netflix show?
That'd be fine. I'm one episode away from finishing that. I'd totally forgotten I had the series, but I'm one episode away from finishing that series. Really good series. If you like Splinter Cell, or if you just like, I mean, you don't even have to like Splinter Cell, I suppose, to really enjoy it.
Well, that's the target, and it's like not the people who know it. They're trying to get the casual person to get.
Well, they want to get those people and the casuals in it. They hope that people who enjoy it will tell the casuals about it and say, "Hey, go watch this; it's really good."
But they're not satisfying both of them, though, are they?
Yeah, no. I said the same thing about Arcane. Was that it doesn't matter if you know League of Legends or not, or whatever the game it is that it's referencing.
I didn't.
Yeah, the show is fantastic without that knowledge. I've never played it. I don't know anything about it, but I was able to watch that show and not be concerned. This is the cool thing. Watching it didn't make me want to go play the game. Yeah. Watching it wasn't. Now Splinter Cell maybe, but with Arcane and stuff, that didn't make me want to go play the game. I just wanted more of what they were showing me. Like, give me more of this, which they gave a second season. Not as great, but still pretty good. Yeah. And that's all we got out of it. I still want more. So it's really, really well done. But I had no knowledge of the game at all. And I still can't tell you anything about the game from just watching that show. It didn't inform me on how to play the game. It didn't do anything. It didn't throw a bunch of stuff at me that I didn't understand. It explained itself, It
was just a good story based on the
absolutely
lore of the game that it was based on. So, yeah.
Absolutely. So it was really, really good.
Yeah.
Less than a week after Ubisoft promised that a new Ghost Recon game is coming, but probably not anytime soon, the company says it will mark the series' 25th anniversary next month with some proper news on what's coming next. Says, we know some of you saw updates. We'll have more to say on the 6th of August when we celebrate the 25th anniversary of Ghost Recon. Intel coming soon. The article says, my initial impression with this is basically a scaled-down version of last week's big Bethesda blowout. But from what we've heard is that maybe we're getting something with Ghost Recon, is it Wildlands? Which was like a really good open-world Ghost Recon game that they have. Let's see. This article goes on to say that I popped around to the Splinter Cell X account and found a Ubisoft 40th anniversary retweet from earlier in July. A half dozen 2025 posts, mostly about the Splinter Cell animated series on Netflix. One retweet from 2023 and a relative flurry activity from 2022. I thought for a second that would correspond to the announcement of the Splinter Cell remake, but no, that was actually announced in 2021, believe it or not. The 2022 activity marked the 20th anniversary of the first Splinter Cell game. It was also the year that remake director left Ubisoft for a new adventure. He's had enough time since then to work on Battlefield 6, then returned to Ubisoft and resumed directorship on the new Splinter Cell remake. They're never going to release that game. Anyway, so yeah, maybe I'm not getting any Sam Fisher, but I'm getting some Ghost Recon, and I'll be happy with that.
Single-player game, right?
Splinter Cell? Yeah, they do have a multiplayer mode, or they have a Mercs versus Spies thing, a multiplayer, a PvP mode.
What I'm trying to make is that is there a way to make it where you keep spending money on it? That's what I'm trying to say about it.
No, there never was. That's not to say they're not trying to find a way to do it now.
Which is probably why it's delayed. But the delay is taking so long.
Possibly, maybe. I'm hoping that they can look at the failures of games as a service.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that's getting me is like this straight single player, one and done type of game that you play. They got to add some, but the company's got to add some more stuff in there to get the consumer to pay more for it.
And again, you've got to go back to 2013 for the last time a Splinter Cell game was released. Mm-hmm. So back then we weren't in this games as a service situation.
Yeah.
At least it's not like we are now.
Yeah,
so I can't really account for that. But it did have, if I remember right, it did have the PvP mode, but it also had a co-op mode. Now, the main game itself, all single player.
Yeah.
But then they had some missions that you could play in co-op, and then they had some stuff you could do PvP, I believe. Or no. It was co-op, and then there was like a horde mode type thing, like an extraction type thing, where it's like you get a wave of enemies, and then after such and such time, you can take the loot, or you can play another round, and have that added to it, and then go as far as you think you can go. But at any point, if you die, you don't get the loot that you get at the end of the mission. You have to know when it's like, yep, this is where we stop, take our money, take our winnings, and go, type of stuff, something like that. But it was only a 2-player like co-op type of thing.
Yeah.
So 2-player horde mode and a 2-player co-op stuff as well.
Yeah.
And that was Blacklist. That was Splinter Cell Blacklist, which is the last one that they've done. So I was very, very. I really enjoyed the game. It's Splinter Cell, so I was really glad about that. But now it's just now we have to wait. So there was a new DC fighter that was released. It is not Injustice 3. In fact, it's called DCKO, which is a really stupid name, and it's also only for mobile systems. So, and I say mobile systems, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Your tablet, your phone.
Which, in my opinion, fighting games don't go on.
They don't, do they?
They don't.
I mean, I know people play them on there, but good God, man!
I looked at the article, and it looks like just some knee-jerk reaction to Tokon.
It really did, didn't it?
And some quick thrown together.
We
got to put something out there to rival this thing, and this is the result. This is what the result was.
Yeah, like part of it looked like it was even just taking liberties with some of the design of Tokon to DCKO.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how fast they could get in development of these things, but it does look like Marvel Tokon was announced, and they're like, guys, get on this.
yeah, exactly.
See what they just did? We want that. Well, best we can give you is a mobile, and likely the best they can give you is mobile, because NetherRealm, I believe, would take issue if a DC comic fighter was released on console, because I believe they still have that in their IP, right?
Yeah, I mean,
is it NetherRealm that still has
NetherRealm?
it?
NetherRealm did that one, but man, it was just.
But they still have that license. What I'm saying is, they still have that license to no, we do the fighting games with the DC characters, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, I think they're still in. I think they still have that agreement. I don't know.
Either way, if we can see an Injustice 3, we want them to do it.
Yeah.
So,
which is not a problem, or is not something that's happening here. You know what? We'll do the good news that I had this week. Out of everything else, I mean, what kind of good news could I have? And I mean specifically me. Yes, all of you will have this great news as well, because all of you will get to play the game too. But out of nowhere, there was, and I saw it come across. God, what day was it? Probably Wednesday or Tuesday or Wednesday. It was one morning I saw it come across. Wario64, he did the tweet on it, and it was a trailer for Recreation 2. That game is not even a year old. The first one is not even a year old, and yet we got a trailer for the sequel of the game. And same studio. It's not. They don't call themselves Three Fields Entertainment anymore. They call themselves
When Tides Turn.
When Tides Turn. That is the name of the developing studio in this. It's mostly everything. Or it's mostly everybody else that was involved in that. But Recreation did not do very well. We made a double announcement today. The developers' latest statement on Patreon reads, "We're making a sequel to Recreation. It's built around aggression, pressure, risk, and, of course, consequence. Over the last 6 months, we've been talking directly to players about what they want from a modern arcade driving game, and Recreation 2 is the result of those conversations." All of this sounds very familiar. From handling and progression to events and world design, our community has already helped shape key aspects of the experience. We're building this game with the players, not just for them. There's already a short announcement trailer for the game showing off a bunch of unique cars, the arcade handling, and, of course, plenty of crash outs inspired by Burnout. Cars go absolutely flying. The second announcement is that the team has formed a new studio, When Tides Turn. While Recreation began life at Three Fields Entertainment, we've reached a point where it makes sense for the project to have a new home, one that we own completely. Nothing has changed about the people making the game. It's still the same team with the same passion and the same ambition to build the best open-world arcade racer we possibly can. This is simply the next step in our journey. That doesn't necessarily help things, given that what you made before that was so not Burnout, you know? So you were aiming to go in that direction with your last game, and it didn't even make it to a line that even closely resembles where you were trying to get. At least according to most. I actually haven't played it, but according to sales and according to people who've had it, that have played it, it ain't great. It's got plenty of problems, and it didn't do what people were expecting of it to do, which was to kind of bring Burnout back in a sense, you know, to what that was. Get as close as you can to that without actually being that. And it didn't get there. So to say that, hey, we're working on a sequel and it's everybody that worked on the other game, that doesn't help. Not saying those people need to be fired or anything. I'm just saying if this is what you made with that same team before, how do we expect you to make that different again?
It's basically what have you done for me lately? And we've seen what you've done for us lately, and it wasn't good.
Yeah, so. I will admit the trailer that they showed off looks quite good. There were people who actually got to play test some of it. There were a couple of videos that released of people who actually got some time to play the game, and they were giving rave reviews about it as well. So I'm really hoping it works. The developer will continue to post updates on Recreation 2 on its Patreon. You can also sign up to play test the game. There's no such thing as too much Burnout, so hopefully the Recreation sequel delivers where the first one didn't quite hit the mark. And don't forget, you've also got the Star Wars game, Star Wars Galactic Racer, coming out in October, which has Burnout developers who worked on that game as well. And so, yeah, we're apparently getting 2 Burnout-inspired racing games. I don't know about this year. I know we're getting Star Wars this year, and I don't know when Recreation 2 is planning to come out, but it was really nice to see. And yeah, there was a preview, because I did put in another article from IGN that got a chance to play it. Based on the couple of hours I put into the very early preview build of Recreation 2, I can, for now, at least optimistically say, maybe. I don't say that to hype this game up too much or judge it too harshly. Rather, studio head Fiona Sperry, herself a veteran of the Burnout days at Criterion Games, wanted to emphasize that this is an extremely early version of what they're building. With that in mind, I loaded up the demo and its dozen-plus events and a couple of upgradable cars, expecting a rough, buggy mess that might have a kernel of greatness at its core, that the team at When Tides Turns just needed time to build and polish into a pearl. And to my pleasant surprise, I instead found the section of the fictional Heartbreak City on offer to be pretty solid on my 5080 powered PC, completely devoid of the frame rate hitches and bugs cited in the review of the first Recreation. Does that guarantee the final version won't be polished and free of bugs? Of course not. But it is still in early development, but it's making a really strong first impression on me. Why? Just as with the first Recreation, which I confess I somehow completely missed when it came out, Recreation 2 is quite proudly trying to build what is essentially Burnout Paradise 2 in all but name. The shiny visual style is very similar, as is the pop-punk soundtrack. The flaming turbo meter at the bottom left corner is identical to the one found in Burnout. Even Heartbreak City itself feels reminiscent of Paradise City. But of course, the play's the thing. And the team at When Tides Turn recommend I leave the difficulty at its default setting, which is hard. I did, and they were right. As I flew around the tracks, staked out within the downtown area of the city at blindingly high speeds, I was met by equally aggressive AI drivers who could dish out shunts and takedowns admirably. Meanwhile, the arcadey handling of the cars felt instantly familiar and pretty dang good. The handbrake can get your car around a 90-degree turn pretty quickly if you feather it just right, while stomping on it too hard will slow your car down to a crawl. And slamming into other cars feels weighty. And if you do get wrecked, you've got aftertouch, just like in Burnout, meaning you can nudge your slow-motion crashing car in any direction to try and take out any approaching opponents along with you. These are ripped straight from Burnout, so you already know what you'll be doing. Takedowns of rival cars. Each takedown adds time to the clock. This must be the Road Rage event that he's talking about. So, yeah, this, fingers crossed that the fourth time is the charm to finally fully recapture the magic of Burnout. So they're trying. I talked about this team before because every single time that they have tried to make a game, it has tried to put it closer towards, I mean, even Dangerous Golf. It was golf, but it was like Crash Mode with golf. Mm-hmm. And it worked. Some weird way it worked. It was fun. Then they had Dangerous Driving, and they had the Danger Zone, or whatever the other stuff was, and all of it just seemed to be a step of, we're getting there, and every time you thought that this is the one where they're getting there, you'd play it, and it was like, you're not there. You're not there. You know, and then Recreation, I thought, this may be it. You're not there. So now, here we are. We're going through the phase again. You know, I commend the studio, by the way, for surviving. You know, there's, given what happened with Dangerous Driving 2, I think it was, the sequel, that and then Recreation, all of those kind of not being great, they have somehow survived. Mm-hmm. And my hat's off to them for making it through all of it. Given everything we hear every week about studios closing and people getting fired and everything else, somehow this little studio that could has made it through to the next round. And we'll see how well it goes for him. We're at the bottom of the hour here. We got to take a break. He says that he takes a swig of his water. My God, the amount of water that I've been drinking. I mean, I drink a lot of water as it is. Yeah. But way more now. So, anyway, here is music from a game called Void Train. It is just the main menu music, so I don't think it has a title, but we'll be back with more of In-Game Chat right after this. Welcome back into In-Game Chat. Music again from, I don't know, Luminous, Arise. The name of this track is called 1999. Great little rhythm game. Enjoyed it a lot. Haven't picked up this new one yet, but it was a lot of fun. Really good, portable, fun little, like, just especially with the PSP and that sort of thing, you could just play a little bit of it on the go. Mm-hmm. Really good. And I think it's Steam Deck verified on PC, so check that out if you're at all interested. So, where were we going next? Microsoft announced backwards compatibility on the PC, which just emulation, right? Mm-hmm. Let's look at the story on this one. It allows you to play classic console games on PC and handhelds like the Xbox Ally X for the first time. The program begins today with an early preview containing support for 4 titles. Blinks the Time Sweeper. I don't know why Blinks always gets involved. It's a game I never played, never had any interest in playing. But
maybe it's easy to transfer.
Maybe. I don't know. It always seems to be their go-to on like, oh yeah, Blinks is one of the backward compatibility games on the thing. Conquer, Live and Reloaded, that's another one. Crimson Skies, High Road to Revenge, that's fantastic. And Fusion Frenzy, that's another one that always gets whatever. Always gets mentioned in there, like, I think when it was backwards compatible on the original Xbox, or the first time they did backward compatibility, I think it was most, if not, these 4 games. Anyone who owns the games already will automatically have a license granted on PC. The 4 games will also be added to Xbox Game Pass for those with a PC Game Pass subscription. Of course, you'll be able to stream the titles via Xbox Cloud Gaming, allowing you to play them on pretty much any rig. So some of the features for Xbox backward compatibility on PC include up to 4 times resolution upscaling, VSync support, full screen, and window display modes. What else they got? Anti-aliasing and a lot more. These games also include customizable languages and audio settings. Finally, while unavailable today, Microsoft will add achievements to these games and future backward compatible Xbox on PC titles via an update later this year. That's kind of cool to have backwards compatibility. I mean, some could say that I already have that on my PC because you can run an emulator, but this is their way of letting that happen, I suppose. I don't know. And I'd also be interested in like how that works. Do you have to download something, or when you download the game, does it put it in a frame? I don't know. It's like, how does it work? Unfortunately, outside of maybe Crimson Skies, there's absolutely nothing in that list that I wanted to play. Fusion Frenzy, if I remember, was a multiplayer game. It was like one of those party games. Like you and 3 other people, compete against each other. In little bitty, like, I don't know, little mini game type stuff. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. It's nice to see they're going that route, and I hope that it stays that way. And they keep adding games to it. That's fine. The one thing I did want to get to before we ended was the you brought this up outside of the show, not on air, but we were talking about GTA 6. Mm-hmm. First off, I don't think that's going to survive launch day. If PlayStation servers went down with Marvel Tokon,
yeah,
I don't see how they're going to survive the onslaught of a only digital GTA 6 world. Mm-hmm. If I remember right, Red Dead Redemption 2, which I guess is the last game that Rockstar released, and if you don't count the PC port of the first Red Dead Redemption, but Red Dead Redemption 2 came on like 2 discs. One was the install disc, and one was like the play disc. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the game was on the disc itself. You put it in, it installed to your machine, and then the other disc was used, I guess, to make that connection, to do whatever. But that was actually on the disc, if I remember right. Yeah. There were 2 discs. I don't know why you would put 2 discs in a thing if all you need is the one to download from the store. So that leads me to believe that the content was on the disc itself, and would install on your machine, and then the play disc, was the one that verified the fact that you owned it.
Yeah.
So, anyway, I don't think the servers on Microsoft and Sony will handle this. Who knows? Maybe they will. I don't know. I just don't see the launch day of that game not having issues of some sort on one of the systems, if not both. So they'll get it resolved. I mean, you'll be able to play it that day you get home from work, but then again, at the same time, it might be a slow download, or I don't know. That could be part of this pre-order thing that we're talking about, because if you pre-order it, then you can download it early and you kind of bypass the heavy server day or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, but then everyone else gets the same idea and you got the same problem.
Right. Well, sort of. I know the people that pre-ordered it when it was announced don't get to download it until closer to whenever the release date is. Mm-hmm. And we'll see how that goes. Was there a mention of them getting to play early? I can't remember. Anyway.
I don't know about play early, but usually it's like something along the lines of you get to start your download a few days.
Yeah,
early,
yeah.
But still, it's the same thing. Like I just said, everyone's got the same idea, so it's still going to be a headache.
Grand Theft Auto 6, set to launch this November, will likely be the largest video game release of the year and possibly of the last decade. And if you wondered if the game skipping physical discs at launch and charging $100 for a version that includes extra in-game stores and clothing would perhaps hurt the chances of being one of the biggest launches in history, new pre-order data seem to indicate that is not the case. And a new report from Tweaktown, I don't know what that is. The outlet shared data gathered from publicly available sales charts on the PlayStation Store website, which it used to track how well Grand Theft Auto 6 pre-orders are doing in the United States and other parts of the world. The short answer, very, very well. Interestingly, it is the $100 Ultimate Edition that is doing the best. According to the report, the data shows that as of July 20th, the $100 version of GTA 6 is the top pre-ordered game in 9 global territories.
The full version.
Yeah, the base game, the
trial version.
The trial version is $80, which is already more than the usual $60 and $70 price tags you'll find on most games. But earlier this month, Rockstar and Take-Two revealed a $100 digital deluxe edition that includes access to in-game stores, exclusive weapon skins, garages, and other content that those who opt for the 80 version will be locked out of. Many online have complained that the $100 version of the game is the real version and that players buying the cheaper edition aren't getting the full game. Despite those complaints, it is the $100 version of GTA 6 that is topping the pre-order charts across the globe on PlayStation. One of the broader trends in console gaming over the past decade is how growth is coming from increased player spend, not increased players. The core console gamer loves Ultimate Editions, higher PS Plus Game Pass tiers, spending on DLC and microtransactions, and buying a pro console. This is seemingly backed up by more data, which also noted that the higher-priced editions of games like Halo Campaign Evolved and Wolverine were charting higher on pre-order charts than the standard cheaper editions of these games. In some cases, that's because these promise early access. Though keep in mind that paid early access is actually just the cheaper version of the game being delayed for those not willing to pay the publisher's ransom fee. So they're going to hold it from you until the release date unless you pay them money so that you can play it.
Mm-hmm.
It is, yeah. The big takeaway seems to be that despite all the yelling and online pushback for ditching physical media and raising prices, a large chunk of gamers don't seem to care and are ready to. No. I'm arguing with this article. Yeah. I say a large chunk of gamers don't seem to care and are ready to fork over $80 more or $80 plus or more for digital games if they get early access, extra content, and more. No, they are paying that money specifically in this case because it is GTA 6. It's the only way they can do it, but they're paying it because it's GTA 6. If this were any other game, you wouldn't see numbers like this.
Yeah, try this with Marvel Tokon.
You know? You wouldn't know, man.
Mm-mm.
It's GTA 6. That's why it's doing what it's doing. And it kind of has to stand as an outlier. You can't really incorporate that as, if we look at a graph for video game sales for this year, once the year is over with, this year is going to spike with a massive amount of games sold, but it's going to rely on the fact that it's just like it's going to rely on the fact that it was GTA 6.
Yeah.
It's just like,
because this is going to be tried with another title down the line.
Television networks. You know what they love? They love elections. Why? Because a bunch of people running for office spend money on ads.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a big year for them when it's an election year, because it's a big ad year for that, So they enjoy that. Same thing, man. Sony and Microsoft are going to be thanking the GTA gods for releasing this game, because people are going to have to buy their consoles if they don't already have them. And if you're waiting to do that, as we said, the best time to do that was yesterday, and the second best time to buy it is today. If you want to get on this GTA 6 bandwagon, you want to play it, you've got to have an Xbox Series X or a PlayStation 5. That's it. You can wait for the PC release. I don't know when that's going to be. A year, 2 years, who knows down the line when that's going to be.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'll be on the console first. I am likely to double dip on this because there's just not a world where I don't pick this up on console to play this on one of them. I don't know which way I'll go with it, but I'm going to be playing it on one of those machines.
Mm-hmm.
I do not know which one. I guess I'll wait and see what reviews say as far as like, hey, you're better options for, it's smoother on this machine, or the load times are quicker on this machine, whatever the case may be. I don't know. But it'll be one of those that I go with, one or the other. I'm just not going to miss out on it. It's GTA, it's Grand Theft Auto. I'm going to be there. I'm not. It's not like a Burnout thing where I'm massively over, complete nerd for it. But it is going to be a massive game, and everybody's going to be talking about it, and I want to be in on that conversation. I legit do. I was there for GTA 4, 5, and now I will be for 6. I don't know that I was there for GTA 3. I think GTA 3 was a release where it's like, hey, this game's really good, and I go to play it, and I'm like, oh, wow, this game's really fun,
Yeah.
This whole open world thing. And that got me on that train.
Yeah, that one surprised folks because it wasn't the format that GTA
normally
1
was.
Or 2
Yeah.
Had that top-down overlook.
Yeah, but now we're going third-person open world with it, and you can do all this. Look at all this stuff you can do. Oh, that's great. I'm going to do all that stuff. And, of course, I did a lot of that stuff. When's the next one? Then they released Vice City, and I was like, oh, my goodness, Vice City, this is great. Then they released San Andreas. Which I never played. I never played San Andreas. I felt like, I think at that time I was just like, no, I can't do this again. It's exactly like the meme that comes from San Andreas, which is like, here we go again. And that's exactly what it felt like. Plus, I want to say that one you had to like work out and like
the micromanaging.
Yeah, did it have micromanaging in it?
Yeah, there was like, well, I don't know if I think it did have some effect on your stats and things like that, but I don't know if it was like forcing you to do it.
I don't think it forced you, but if you wanted it, you had to go do all that stuff. Yeah.
If you ate too much, you got big. If you worked out, you got muscular. Practice with your shooting, things like that. Yeah, there was things.
Did that carry? I can't even remember. Did that carry over into GTA 4 and 5? I don't remember that being the case in 5. I barely remember 4.
5, yeah. You could build up your stats by doing things around the city. Better shooting if you go to the ammunition gun range.
Oh, really? Okay.
Drive enough and your stats will get up there.
Yeah, that's
Fly
true.
enough and your stats will get up there. Run more and your stamina will be will increase.
Yeah, I remember that part.
You had to do stuff in 5 story mode wise.
Yeah,
if you wanted to.
But for some reason, I don't know, San Andreas just did not pull me in. I guess it was because here we are, the third iteration of the same engine. And it's like, I don't know. There's probably other things pulling me in a different direction at that point. And again, it felt like we're just we're doing the same thing again.
Or maybe the story didn't
I don't know.
Because those are story based games, and sometimes the story just doesn't pull you in.
Yeah, but it's also open world, which means you don't necessarily have to pay attention to the story at all. You can just go out and do what you want,
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but I just didn't get into San Andreas. And then 4, I was there. 5, I was there. And I'll be back there again for 6. I absolutely will. Question will be, do I do the 80 or do I do the 100? I don't know. And yeah, Lethal Migraine, you are in the minority about not caring at all about GTA, and that's perfectly fine. It will be, obviously, as you can tell, everybody is spread out from that date, which I think except for maybe one game that's going to be releasing around the same time as it, or the same day as it. But everybody else is
fearless.
Yeah. Everybody else has shifted there. They're like, no, we're not doing it. Yeah. February of next year is stacked for video game releases because those who were trying to get in November are now like, no, we're not going up against that. We'll do a release in February. They've either backed it up or they pushed it forward. And the backup is September to 1st of October or so. And then everybody spreads out. Nobody gets any time to release. Because they're like, no, that's too close to GTA. We're just not going to do it.
So, you don't know offhand who is releasing around the time of GTA 6, do you?
I can't remember. I thought it was something that was completely ridiculous, but it was just like, you know what? That's not bad because people are probably going to be like, you know what? I'm not getting GTA. I want to get this.
Or while you're waiting for GTA 6 to download.
I can't remember. I want to say it was a complete opposite of what GTA 6 is. You know, like it is totally like Paw Patrol the game or something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's completely on the opposite end of the spectrum as to what that is, and that will appeal to a completely different audience. You know, it's not an alternative for people who are like, well, GTA 6 is a little bit too much. Maybe I'll get this other. That's not what it is. So, it's a game that had a release date, and they're just like, we're not getting out of the way for that. Yeah. It doesn't matter where we launch this game. It's not going to do good at all, so might as well just put it out there now. So, who knows? Yeah, you know what? Lethal Migraine says the day GTA comes out, so will Splinter Cell. You would absolutely see me jump on the Splinter Cell over the GTA for that. If I had to pick one, I would go Splinter Cell over that. Burnout over that. Any of that. Yeah. Over GTA. Absolutely would.
Well, I think in my case, I'm basically just going to watch the streams of it.
Yeah.
It's a story-based game.
Yeah.
I could just watch someone else play and get the gist of the story and go from there. Because there's no online element for the game at all. At launch, so
they said at launch there will be no GTA Online, but it will be coming. So
I'll just see what the story's all about.
Don't you need to, if I remember correct, do you need to play through the story in order to set yourself up pretty good for the online, or can you just jump in online?
You can just jump in online. Because they split it up in 2 games now.
Oh, is it?
GTA 5 is split up in 2 games now. You can buy $20 for the story mode and $20 for the online thing.
Okay, I didn't know that. Mm-hmm. I couldn't remember because I remember when GTA Online launched, and it was horrible.
Yeah, it was it's the split version is like the updated current version of.
But when it originally launched, I got in there and got on it, and it was a horrible experience, and I never went back to it again. Apparently, they've done better with that. With that experience.
Did the horrible experience come from other people blowing you up and taking your stuff?
No, not really.
Just gameplay.
It was just the gameplay. The servers were choppy. Things were not smooth at all.
Yeah.
At the time, and there wasn't a lot. It was mostly like, hey, everybody, you're online playing with each other. That's it. Yeah. They didn't have these streamlined missions that they have now and all this other stuff that they've turned it into. It apparently got better, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, a lot of improvements in content and things like that. But yeah, it's still the same. When you try to make money on your own, like I said, with the nerf, the grinding nerfed, and you still got people blowing your stuff up.
Yeah, I ran into the griefers, of course, but at that time, it didn't really penalize you for that. It didn't penalize you getting griefed by them or anything like that. But other than the fact that it was like, I don't want to play. Because 2 people would be trying to walk into the same room at the same time and there were collision. There were all kinds of issues when that thing first launched. And I guess I should have given it more time, but by that time anyway, I'd stopped playing the game. And there was other things that I could do, and that just did not put a good first impression on me. And so I, moved on to something else, and I really never went back to it at all. Probably would find some fun into it now if I revisit it.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of folks have done little outside things, made little groups, got together and did a bunch of stuff. There's still streamers out there on YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, and all that. Make their own games out of the engine.
Before we go, we don't have much time, but apparently, says Sony knew the decision to kill PlayStation 5 discs would spark outrage, and they reportedly issued staff with the strictest social media guidelines to stop them from publicly commenting on the controversy. That's according to the writer of the God of War Luffy game, whatever it is, who alleged in a YouTube video that the restrictions were the most stringent that PlayStation staff had seen, as Sony anticipated its announcement to cause significant blowback. But yeah, apparently they were given instruction on like, don't you talk about this.
Someone might get tempted.
So, anyway, we're coming up on the end of the show here. Thank you guys for joining us. There was almost not a show today, but there was. So, thank my kidneys for that, I suppose. But thank you, RJ, for on standby just in case we could or could not do a show. I appreciate that.
No problem. Man.
It was kind of up in the air because I didn't know when an attack's going to happen. So. Thank you, everybody who hung out in the chat room with us. Thank you, Steve, for joining us on Discord there and in the chat room. We really appreciate your support. We always have, and we always will. So thank you guys so very much for continuingly supporting us throughout the years with this. We can't thank you enough for that. We got music here from a game that I abbreviated really bad. This looks like Goodnight Universe. Maybe that's the name of it. I spelled it God Not Universe, trying to be abbreviated with everything. So maybe it's called Goodnight Universe. I don't know. The name of the track is called Being Orson. So you guys have a fantastic week. Enjoy it. And assuming everything goes well, we will be back next Saturday for you here on In-Game Chat. Here's the music. Have a great week.